The life of Leah was not easy. The Bible shows us that she was not preferred in the beginning, but like the saying goes, it is not how you start, but how you finish. She may not have been popular with men, but she found favor with God. She was found faithful. The story of Leah involves 4 women, but our focus will, of course, be on the older sister. And her story begins with the betrayal. In Genesis chapter 29, you see a younger sister, Rachel. While caring for the sheep, a handsome man approaches. He rolls away the stone from the well, introduces himself, stays with them for the next month, and falls in love with the beautiful Rachel, the younger sister. Verse 18, and Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And the marriage is arranged. Very soon you see a betrayal. Remember, God does not cause bad things to happen to us in our lives. People do. The 7 years pass. Jacob asks for his wife. The father prepares a feast, and the father gives his daughter to Jacob. Jacob takes his bride into the marriage tent where they consecrate the marriage. And it came to pass in the morning, behold, it was Leah, the older sister. God is gracious. In Genesis 29 and 31, we read that the Lord saw that Leah was hated, meaning that God sees that Jacob prefers Rachel more than her. God had mercy on Leah, the older sister, and he opens her womb. She becomes pregnant. It was very important in those days to bear children. It was a status symbol, a sign of blessing. God sees that Leah is caught in the midst of this triangle and that it never should have happened, but he decides to bless her. In spite of what is happening all around her, he decides to bless Leah. And as you see, she has child after child. And through the names of her children, you see Leah's attitude toward the situation. Genesis chapter 29, verses 32 through 35. Reuben, her firstborn, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. Simeon, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. Levi, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. And Judah, now will I praise the Lord. Unfortunately, the other women in Jacob's life did not name their children the same way. They didn't yearn for their husband's love, but that was the heart of Leah. Through the life of Leah, she made mistakes along the way. She was not innocent in all of her doings, but she did have faith to acknowledge God, to acknowledge God's goodness, and she had a strong desire to love her husband. In conclusion, their preferred sister passed in childbirth, and the other 2 women were just concubines. But Leah remained a true wife. In Genesis 37 and 10, she is referred to as the children's mother. And in Genesis 49 and 31, her husband referred to her as his wife, placing her in the resting place that he would be buried in. Jacob says, "There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife. And there I buried Leah." We see that though she was not preferred in the beginning, Leah stayed faithful to God, and Leah stayed faithful to her husband. She stepped into the role of wife. She obtained that which she had hoped for. Above all, people in our lives are looking for faithfulness. They're looking for people they can trust. And God is looking for faithfulness. What does the life of Leah speak to our lives? Is there an area in our life that we can be found faithful? Is there an area in our life where God is calling us to be faithful? We can learn a lot from the life of Leah.